Thank you, everyone who's watching this video. Um, I just want to start by giving my sincerest condolences to the Vanda's family and all of Anthony's friends and family, not just during this time, but forever. And I'm going to try to keep this brief, but, like my late father always said, the boy don't shut up sometimes, talking about me. But I'm going to try to keep this about 15 minutes. And I sincerely hope nothing I say comes across as disrespectful and my tone comes off, inappropriately. It's just, today was the wake. Today was the wake, and, it was an honor and a privilege to be there. And, I knew I had to go. This kind of thing's tough. But the fact of the matter is, Anthony would have been there for me, and my parents would have been there if they could. And I guess that's where we'll start, because none of this is rehearsed, none of this is, I didn't write anything down, take any notes, get my thoughts together, or anything. It's all just going to come from the heart. And we'll start with the story about my mother and Anthony. Anthony and I met when he was 6 years old. I was 8 years old. And we became very close friends. And, it was more than just us. It was also, our families, in the sense that, my mother, my mother told Anthony to, in the politest way she could, she told him to stop knocking on the door. She told him just to let himself in, and we'd come visit. And, sometimes I'd come home, and my mother would be sitting there at the kitchen table with Anthony, and, he'd listen to her stories, and it was a very touching thing. And, if my mother was here today, she would be completely devastated by this. And I tried to get myself together for making this video. The tears came out today, before the service, at the service. So, and then my father really liked Anthony, he trusted him, he, did what he could for him, and Anthony did what he could for my dad, in a lot of senses, helping us around the house. And I really looked up to Anthony. I really looked up to him. Like I say, we were 6 years old when we met, and I was the kind of kid, I was very social, I just was riding my bike past his house one day, 8 years old, and introduced myself to him, and he was a great friend. And, he would have done anything to make it to my service. And I knew I had this photograph of him. I got a few today. And it's the only one I have of just him that I have print on hand. So, it's not, I know it's not the best photograph, but, the real emotions came out today when I said my goodbyes, by his casket. He was like a brother to me in a sense. And just trying to get myself together. And I told Anthony today that people use the word speechless a lot, and it wasn't until my father passed away that I really knew what the word speechless meant. And then I got that phone call. So, we all in grievance, acceptance, we all grieve in our own ways. And had I planned this out more, perhaps I could have said some words at the wake, but I didn't. I did, have a conversation with Anthony today, and I went back up and I said my goodbyes before I left. And this kind of thing's not easy. And I couldn't imagine what his family's going through right now. But so I made Anthony a cup of tea. Anthony wasn't Mexican. He was, he had Puerto Rican blood. And obviously, I'm not Mexican either, but I learned a lot about the culture over the years. And I learned about the ofrenda, Dia de los Muertos, and you put something out for him. And there was one thing my parents had in the house. It was tea. They always had tea in the house. And in a sense, this like sleepy time chamomile tea kind of became something that him and I would enjoy. As funny as it may sound, but he was a great friend. He was a true inspiration, an amazing athlete. He's always supportive, and even trying to encourage me to join the baseball team. I was like, but I might not have been. I knew I wouldn't have been as good as him, but you learn a lot, discipline, and maybe I should listen to him. But that doesn't mean I can't start listening now. And I learned so much from him, and his family was very hospitable at the service, and I had the honor and privilege of speaking to a few of them. One person in particular was his blood brother. And I kind of swapped him. I was like, hey, man, I know we don't really know each other, but I was like, you and Anthony were really close. He's like, yeah, it's my brother. And he knew who I was. He's like, you're Aaron. He was like, oh, he so many times he said, he's like, oh, Anthony, I always spoke very highly of you. And, me and this gentleman, we had only met on so many occasions, but he instantly knew who I was after so many years. And so I guess that's about everything I wanted to say. I'm sure there was some more. I didn't write the notes because I just wanted it to all be genuine and come from the heart. And from my family to the Vandas family, it was nothing but sincere condolences. And not just now, but forever. And I just wanted to thank you for your hospitality today, and thank you for watching, for everyone who does watch this. And I know he touched the heart of many people, and I'm not alone in this, and neither is he. So, thank you for listening.